Okay, the meeting of the, excuse me, the joint meeting of the Planning and Zoning Committee and a special called Committee of the Whole meeting are called to order. We have one case today, but before that, we have approval of our meeting minutes. Does anyone have any changes to the meeting minutes, or do I hear a motion for approval?
I move approval.
Okay, it has been moved and very quietly seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So the minutes are approved. We have one rezoning case, and Ms. Sproul, do you want to tell us what's going on?
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Kim Sproul. I serve as the city zoning administrator in the Department of Planning, Engineering, and Permits. We have one rezoning case on the agenda today. It's ZAC 2022-1. This is an application to change zoning from MXD planned mixed use to C1 neighborhood commercial in order to allow for the construction of a new convenience store and quick service restaurant. The properties are located at 3100 and 3060 Shannon Oxmoor Road, located in the Oxmoor Neighborhood Association. This property is approximately 2.92 acres, and it's currently zoned MXD, which y'all are familiar with. Most of Oxmoor is zoned MXD, the planned mixed use. Abutting the property to the north, south, and west is also property zoned MXD, and to the east of this site is a Circle K that is zoned C1. So the applicant's proposal today is to construct a convenience store that will include a restaurant inside, and it will have a drive-through and indoor dining. They plan to have 5 fueling stations with 10 pumps with 1 on each side. And so the zoning that they're requesting, C1, would allow both of those uses in this district. The city's adopted long-range land use plan identifies this property as light industrial. We did include all the conditions that are associated with this use in the C1 neighborhood district. A convenience store is allowed as long as the conditions listed are met, and I'll go over those real quick. All pumps shall not be closer than 50 feet to any dwelling district and not closer than 15 feet to a right-of-way line. Any building shall be set back 25 feet from a dwelling district. Automated car washes shall be allowed as an accessory use only by special exception, which would mean they'd have to go through the city zoning board of adjustment for approval. The applicant's parking does comply with the city's parking requirements. The stormwater staff reviewed the site plan, and they commented that all of their normal permits do apply for stormwater and soil erosion. The Birmingham Department of Transportation reviewed and approved the applicant's plan to restripe the turn lane on Oxmoor Road, and they noted that they don't have any concerns about increases in traffic. And the city's landscape architect reviewed the site plan and noted that an evergreen shrub hedgerow would be required between the gas station and the street, as well as 1 canopy tree per 40 feet of street frontage between the gas station and the right-of-way, and the landscaping plan submitted does meet the city's requirements. The Oxmoor Neighborhood Association met in February of 2022 to review this project, and they voted to not support the request. The comments included with that report were that the rezoning request was not supported because there are 5 gas stations in the area. There are 3 in Oxmoor, and 1 already serves hot food, and the new gas station would also cause more traffic problems. So the applicant did go through half of our rezoning process last year, and after the traffic concerns became a part of the discussion, they withdrew their rezoning request, and they contracted with Skipper to have a traffic study done for this site. And so now they're ready to continue moving forward with the rezoning process. So the applicant did reach out to the neighborhood association, and staff did as well, to see if they would like for them to attend a meeting with the updated traffic report. And Ms. Green is here, but the neighborhood declined to have them. They said that their vote for 2022 would stand. And the Zoning Advisory Committee met again last week to review the rezoning request with the addition of the traffic study, and they voted 3-1 to recommend the request. They did have 2 key conditions. One, compliance with all requirements in the Oxmoor Steering Committee guidelines. And number 2, any future development on the properties requires submittal of a site plan to the Zoning Advisory Committee. And that concludes the staff report.
Okay, just to make sure I understood, so the traffic study was done, but the neighborhood didn't want to see it?
That is correct. And the neighborhood president might be able to speak to that. But the applicants, when the applicants completed the traffic study, they reached out to our office. And because there was some time that elapsed, about 9 months just about, we recommended that they re-engage with the neighborhood association. And the applicant, Mr. Beavers, reached out to the neighborhood association, and they did not want them to come back for another vote. And so I reached out also to the neighborhood association, and Ms. Green sent us an email that their vote from 2022 would stand. They did not want the applicant to come back.
Okay, so the applicant I know is here because there's a whole bevy of people. So who is the spokesperson?
I'm Charlie Beavers.
Okay, if you'd come up and sit in one of these chairs, because we have these microphones and we have people listening remotely. Yeah, that's fine. So we want to make sure that people can hear who are on the line.
Thank you. I know, my name is Charlie Beavers. I'm privileged to represent the applicant. He has a company, but the principal of the applicant is Mike Ahmed, and he is here with us today and available to answer any questions you all might have of him. We also have here and available to answer questions Mr. Thomas Winston, who is going to be the contractor to construct the building. Mr. Willie Oliver is a consulting architect on the development. Logan Gandy is the civil engineer for the development, is with us. And Scott Skipper of Skipper Associates is the traffic engineer. His company did the report and all. He'll be presenting that. We propose for me to generally make the presentation and then have Mr. Skipper come and present details of the traffic study, and then have our other folks available, our contractor, architect, civil engineer available for any questions that you all might have of them, and we're happy to answer anything that you might have to ask. You heard some of the history. When we met at least twice, maybe 3 times, I can't remember, with the association over a year ago when we first filed this. And what we heard was that traffic was a problem. It felt like it'd be dangerous and people would be hurt there and couldn't handle the traffic. We had our traffic engineer work with James Fowler and the folks downstairs in traffic engineering to work out what would need to be done to satisfy their concerns. And they did that, and we've inputted traffic lanes, and the traffic engineer will talk more about that, turn lanes and the like, and decel lanes as suggested by the city's traffic engineer, Mr. Fowler, and as recommended also by our professional traffic engineer, Mr. Skipper, his firm. When we went before it was even before this group earlier.
We've been before us.
I know we have been before you all, and we went before the ZAC before that. I think it was when we were before the ZAC. They asked Mr. Fowler to come up from his office and speak. I don't think it was when we were meeting with y'all, but it might have been a while.
I don't remember Mr. Fowler coming.
Yeah,
I think that must have been ZAC.
He came up to ZAC, and he said, very frankly said, this is not a traffic issue. It's not dangerous. It works. And as you'll see, we've gotten that confirmed independently. When we got through the process with this committee last time, y'all voted to send it up without a recommendation, as I recall. And one of the comments in that hearing was, well, you know, maybe the city traffic engineer thinks it's not a problem, but y'all don't have a traffic study, and you can't prove it, you know. So we thought, you know, we ought to have a traffic study. All our folks have said it's not a problem, but let's get a traffic study. And so we did. And it took a while to get that done because COVID had backed up a lot of that kind of work. But they did get it done. They got it done when there was full bore activity out there. And we submitted it to the city. And that's when we began trying to see if we could go back to the neighborhood to present. And that's where we wound up, as Kim Spurl has said, in the process that we're in right now. The project is about a 5,000 square foot building. It's a nice sized store. And I don't know if you all have these pictures or not. Y'all have these?
We have a large pile of paper here.
And it'll be obviously a brand new store. It's very nice. This picture actually right here is one that's down on the Bessemer line on the Parkway. Yes, ma'am. See, probably a better. It's a different picture, I think, than what you have. And cancel that. There's another one right here. I'm sorry. And that's the way the one looks that he's just finished. Here is a site plan that you may or may not have. Or
Is this the same number of pumps and everything?
Yes, ma'am.
As the one that's proposed?
That hadn't changed. Yes, ma'am. That's still the same. It's about 5,000 square foot store. Do you all have the interior design or the layout of the building itself, which shows what's in there?
We don't.
Don't have that. All right. Get that.
But many of us have been inside these kind of places before.
Yeah, I know. What I was going to show you is the eating area. They've got tables for indoor dining, and it's, they serve a wide. Do y'all have the menu?
We have the menu, yes.
Yeah, the menu items. There's a wide range, and this is what he serves in his other stores. He has a store out in the McCalla area that was built maybe about 5 years ago. He has a site on Bell Hill immediately across from the new hospital entrance, and the Jefferson County Commission recently approved that for one of these facilities, immediately across from that very nice hospital that's going to be built there. And he'll be constructing that in due time. They're in the process of getting all that ready to go. Mr. Ahmed will engage the contractor for the site, have it built, continue on it, and he will operate it as he does. Supervise the operation. This is a owner-occupied, owner-operated store. He will spend about $2.6 million investing in the site. It will result, his estimate is over 15 years, $1.5 million in revenues. And I have the numbers for the revenues in the store that I mentioned out in McCalla, where you can see what kind of sales he has in the store and what kinds of sales he has from the pumps. Ken, would you like one of these for your file? Thank you. Ms. Green, would you like to have one of these? Yes, ma'am. You're certainly welcome to all of these. Let me give them to you right now. I think these may be consistent with what you've seen before, but let's see here. Thank you, Kim.
Yes, and the inside sales are about the same.
So, the store, he operates a very good store. It's very efficient. It's very successful. And with the 4% sales tax, again, that's close to $100,000 a year in sales tax revenues to the city, plus the city's share of the gasoline tax revenues that come in. I don't have those numbers. We don't know what it will be assessed at by the tax assessor's office, so we don't know exactly what the tax will be, but it's a $2.6 million facility. It's probably going to be assessed in that neighborhood, and those will be significant revenues to the school system and to the city's general fund as well. It has a 9-car stacking at the drive-through, if you can see on the site plan. That all was worked out with traffic engineering to make sure that the site flows efficiently and doesn't back up. As indicated, there are 10 fueling stations with actually 5 pumps, and they each have 2 filling areas on either side of each pump. Now, the only station, and you look and see really in proximity to this, is the one immediately across the street. And as you know, an area that's right for service stations, C-stores and the like, you usually have 2, sometimes 3 congregated there because they are the right kinds of intersections, the right kind of roads for that kind of facility. It's not as though that area is saturated with gas stations or saturated with meat and 3. And you saw the menu there. He serves breakfast. He serves the meat and 3. He also has pizza, sandwiches, and other deli types of foods as well. So a very broad menu that is served, and it's home cooking type of menu that's been very successful out in McCalla and in his other stores. Let me see here. The site, if you look at the site, and y'all have an exhibit there that staff provided for you that shows where the site is. There is a railroad track immediately behind this store. Behind that is a commercial building that used to house the Internal Revenue Service. And you know what's across from there, there's the Circle K, there's a car wash. The site is at a major intersection, which handles the traffic extremely well, as you'll hear from our traffic engineer. We're not sure what else would go here. What else are you going to put there? It's zoned for industrial now. That's not right for it. It's not a big site. It's not big enough for that. You don't want to put residential there. It's really a perfect site for this kind of development. We can't think of any public safety, health, and welfare basis on which to say this property should not be developed in this manner. And I should mention that Mr. Ahmed, Mike, feels so confident about this site and that it will be a success, is that he went on to close the purchase of it. He owns the site now and intends to make it something that will be a credit to the neighborhood. This is an arterial road, and I'm going to ask the traffic engineer to come and talk to you all about that and how the site will function from a traffic impact and how the traffic flows, what the impact of this facility will be on the traffic. Before he comes up with any questions you all have of me or of our civil engineer or of Mr. Ahmed for our contract.
Does anybody have any questions?
I do have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
When I was listening to Kim give the report, one of the things that it stated that it is a store that has hot food. So what type of hot food is in the other store that they have, Kim? Are we aware of what type of hot food it is?
Of hot food, I think that refers to,
Mr. Ahmed, would you mind coming forward? That's all right. He can tell you exactly what his menu is, but I've seen it. It's meats and vegetables, and there are pictures of that. And if those aren't in your packet, I thought.
Yeah, we've got it.
But
Fried
what I was
pork
saying,
chops and baked chicken.
There was another store that was referenced in Kim's report that the concern of the neighborhood that it was another store that served hot food. So
Oh, that
what
one.
store, what kind of hot food do they serve? Is it like ready to go wings or pizza or?
No, we have
So I'm aware of your menu.
I think, yeah, she's talking about.
I'm talking about this
yeah.
other store that the
neighborhood
neighborhood referenced that said it was another store that already served hot food. So I'm interested in what that other store serves. And maybe Ms. Green can speak to that. Are you aware of what's in the other stores? Okay, what is it?
Basically, the other service station is on Lake Street. We have two. We have five. Out of the five, we have one. And that one serves breakfast and lunch. It's hot food in terms of, like chicken wings, chicken fingers, in the morning biscuits, grits, and stuff like that. I don't think they serve anything in the evening time. But it's very well maintained and it's very comfortable in there. So we already have adequate,
So this
Thank you.
this is more dinner type style.
Yes, similar,
right?
meat and three, fresh cook every day. We got a country breakfast in the morning, drive-through and all that.
So
Yes,
it's a
ma'am.
it's a difference.
Yeah, Hunts Brother Pizza and all that. Yes, ma'am.
Here is the, if y'all didn't have it, just so you can see that he does have a,
A
at
few
least
tables, they
six
want to sit
tables
down.
with
Yeah.
chairs if people want to come and dine in, and then, of course, there's the drive-through where people can come and pick it up and take it home.
Well, since you're here, I have a question. So
ma'am.
with the food service, and you'll have tables inside for people that want to stay and eat, and then the drive-through. So what do you expect the most business to come from, the drive-through or the people who want to come in and eat?
No, it's mostly it's going to be from a drive-through. We're going to have few tables, not too many tables.
So you're
Or in and
expecting
out, like, people come.
people to
things,
get
come
gas
in,
and then
yeah.
get a
That's
dinner
mainly
to...
the coming in and out. That's the main, yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, most of my questions were for the traffic engineer because this is pretty thorough. So, in fact, it's making me hungry.
So basically, most of the customers, because I've been like, like a lot of times, especially like, I just thinking about a store that I go to in Montgomery,
Oh, okay.
like off of 205 exit, I cannot think of the name of that service station, but they have like, chicken and just different varieties of stuff, and I just see a lot of people going in and out. So it's more like, more of your customers that come and get your hot food, it's like a quick in and out.
Quick in
and
and out,
then
yes,
some
ma'am.
people who want to be lazy and want to hit the drive-through.
Yes, ma'am, yeah, yeah.
So the traffic mostly would be, or the flow of people, let me rephrase that, would be a person that may be coming in and getting a soda, and then they say, hey, I may want to give you some food.
Correct, the
So, like-
customers already coming in, they'll be, yeah, they'll
Okay.
be getting foods too. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Any other questions? Councilor Woods?
I'll just
Oh,
bring them on the back end once we hear from everything.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, it's all right, then, Madam Chair, we'll ask Scott Skipper to come and present the traffic report.
And Mr. Skipper, if you would just state your name for the meeting minutes that get taken off
Just
of
sit?
tape. Yeah, just have a seat.
I like this.
Sitting is nice.
Roll our sleeves
We're
up
in
and
a
get
hot
something
seat
done.
right now.
I'm Scott Skipper with Skipper Consulting. We're the traffic consultant on the project. And as they had mentioned, we put together a traffic study to evaluate current conditions that are there today and then the post-development conditions as a result of the proposed convenience and service, food service restaurant. As Charlie had mentioned earlier, Shannon Oxmoor Road is considered a major collector roadway. And by function, I'm reading a little bit here, some of this I don't have exactly memorized. The primary function of a collector roadway is to serve a combination of through traffic as well as provide access to development into properties along that roadway. Also, it collects traffic from the local roadways, distributes that traffic into your arterial and ultimately regional roadway network. So the type of roadway and the classification of the roadway, the major collector roadway, is a roadway consistent with where we see service industry type of developments. But as far as the traffic study, we went out in the early fall, I think it was the end of August of '22, collected traffic counts along Shannon Oxmoor Road at Winona Oxmoor Road, the signalized intersection, the Circle K driveway that's right across the street, and then the car wash driveway, which is where this site access would line up with. Using the land use that's proposed, which is a 10 pump gas station, 10 fueling positions, gas station with a quick serve restaurant or a service restaurant of 1,600 square feet. We did a trip generation analysis, and that comes straight from the Institute of Transportation Engineers, which is nationally accepted standards in our industry. Hundreds and hundreds of data points have been collected over the years of how much traffic do these things generate. So it's kind of, for the lack of a better term, and I used this term the other day, and I said, I gotta come up with a better term. But for lack of a better term, it's kind of, if you wanna know what something generates, it's kind of like the Bible of trip generation. It's researched, it's tried and true, and it's the accepted standard. Also, when we met last week, I made the comment that Mr. Fowler had 2 sentences that he put together that he was able to say in 2 sentences, where we had to put 11 pages of print together and back up with about 40 more pages of appendix. But certainly, traffic generation by this site, and you're familiar with gas stations, most of your trips are, I'm on my way to work, and oh man, I need to get gas, or I'm on my way home, and oh, I need to go ahead and get some gas while I'm here. Stop in, maybe while I'm in the gas station, run over, grab a little something to eat, maybe at lunchtime. I know I eat a lot in the car. I don't want to do that, but I have to eat in the car. It's just how things go sometimes. So the thing with the convenience markets is we're finding is 3/4, about 75% of the traffic generated by a convenience market store is already on the roadways. So it's not new traffic to the roadways. It's traffic that's intercepted from the adjacent streets, brought into the development, and then it returns on its trip from, say, home to work, work to home, home to Home Depot, swing through, grab lunch, maybe get gas while I'm in there. And we do see in these land uses that have joint uses, such as in one building, such as a fast food, as this restaurant is, a quick service restaurant as this is, and the convenience market, there is a lot of crossover traffic. There's a lot of crossover. It's one trip serves 2 purposes. They get their gas, they get their food, so there's a lot of mixed use in that. So we did an analysis. Our analyses are levels of service A through F, kind of like school, but we do have an E in there. E generally tells you that's about the capacity of the roadway. Signalized intersection, which is probably the one that's most noted to everybody, or the ones that they probably are most familiar with the signalized intersection of Winona Oxmoor and Shannon Oxmoor Road. Today, that intersection operates at an overall level of service, and like I said, I'm not going to try to go off memory here, B in the morning overall and B in the afternoon overall. After the development is in place, once we have assigned the traffic to the roadways and run the analysis of what that will generate, keeping in mind that 75% of the traffic that's in and out is already going through that signalized intersection. It's just south of it, pulls in, gets their dinner, gets their gas, gets their whatever. So we were able to maintain a level of service B for the morning, afternoon peak hour, and the morning and afternoon peak hour. So from a impact standpoint, we're similar levels of service, same level of service during those 2 peak hours. So as a recommendation of the report, they are doing some striping, so this will have a left turn into the site. So if anybody's paused to turn left into the site, it does not impact the through movements for people that are not traveling to the store. In addition to that, there will be a right turn lane constructed for site access into the site, so that anybody that's slowing down to pull into the site to make that turn, it doesn't impair the commuter traffic that's not going to the store. So from a site access standpoint, providing those turn lanes as an opportunity for the traffic going to the site to be out of the way for the traveling public that's not going to the store. In our opinion, we've just about provided everything that can be provided for a site access driveway of this nature. So that in a nutshell is it. I will be more than happy to answer any questions that I can pertaining to the traffic study. And then,
Does anybody have any questions regarding the traffic study?
Yeah, I mean, I think looking at existing or whatever the date was, it said August 22 versus your projections, reflecting that project no change at all.
there will be some additional traffic. About 25% of what the store would generate would be considered what we call new trips that wouldn't be there if the store was not there. But as far as the level of service for the adjacent intersection, It's a B today, it'll be a B in the future. Certainly, there'll be a few more cars as a result of the new traffic generated by this. But the bulk of their traffic, about 3/4, is what's already on the roadways that comes into the site and then continues on their trip that was already occurring.
Okay. Has there been competition around left turns, or anything done to mitigate left turns or prevent left turns, or, I know that tends to be something that slows things down.
Well, what we're proposing here is the modification of striping so that there is a left turn lane for those left turners to pull
I
in
guess I'm
and pause
thinking
in.
leaving the gas station, like leaving the property.
Yeah, we evaluated that intersection based on the volumes that are on the roadway and based on the volume we project to turn left out of the store. And the level of service that we got for that was a C, which is a very acceptable level of service, both in the morning peak hour and the afternoon peak hour.
All right, so which one, would that be southbound or northbound?
That would be the second intersection in table 3. That would be, excuse me, that would be the third intersection in table 3. And it would be the eastbound site access intersection. It would operate with a similar level of service as we have with the westbound Circle K access.
Okay, so this is,
I'm a
you
picture
said eastbound
person.
side access?
Eastbound site access, that
I
is
was
the
looking
site
at
access.
on
So if you don't mind, and I'll share this with anybody that wants to see it, what we're gonna have, this is a C today, it'll be a C in the future, coming out of the Circle K. This is with the development in place, it would operate as a C. The left turn would be.
and that reflects to,
An A means you basically have no delay, a B means you
No,
got a
I'm
little
saying-
bit of delay, a C means, okay, when he pulls up to turn out on the side of the street, he's gonna find his gap and he's gonna pull out the side. pull off
that
to the side.
intersection reflects to the chart, which,
This is the first intersection in
no,
this.
I'm saying one at the bottom is gonna be a C, that you expect to remain a C,
That,
correlates
well,
with.
this doesn't exist today, this side. That doesn't exist today.
Well, I'm saying, which one does it correlate with on your, this is your future level service?
Yep, same, top, middle, bottom.
Okay, so this is, that would correlate.
Yeah,
with, I
that's the
guess,
future.
This would be site access eastbound? I'm
Yes.
trying to determine like which turn this represents on that.
What it represents is the average delay per vehicle.
No, I mean, like literally, are you turning onto Oxmoor Road?
You're turning off of the site access onto Shannon Oxmoor Road.
Onto Shannon Oxmoor Road?
Yes.
Now, is that the future one you've got
This
over
is the
there?
future, yes, ma'am.
And so-
Okay, so those that I colored in, those are the new ones, right? The
Those are the new.
so there's two new
They're-
turn lanes,
Those are the new lanes that will be.
a right one and a left.
Yes, ma'am. I believe, do we have a picture copy?
That's what you got right
But
Better
this,
looking picture of the
Yeah.
site plan.
That's the new.
this represents turning off the street into the new gas station.
The eastbound site access, that represents exiting the site
Okay.
onto Shannon Walk. I might not have answered that correctly.
No, I just want to make sure.
Y'all want to see this?
These are the turn lanes that we're referring to. It is this left turn lane right here, and this right turn lane, it's a little light right there, but you can see.
They're coming out, right? Or going
This
in,
is-
this is going
This is
in.
your right turn lane inbound, left turn lane inbound, the 2 lanes exiting. So if
Okay.
somebody waits for
So
a few
you-
seconds
yeah,
to turn
yeah.
left, the rights
Yeah,
can get out of the way.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Okay, so what you were saying, adding the left turn and the right. So if I'm driving, like you and I are traveling down the road, you behind me, I'm behind you, and I can easily go off into that right turn to go into the store, and you still keep flowing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
And the same for the left.
For the left.
The left will move over out of the way in the through movement.
so it will
That's
not
going to
interrupt
store.
those travelers that have no interest of going into the store.
Correct.
Okay.
If I may, Scott has mentioned this to me before, but right now, travelers going from the intersection where this new facility would be on the right, if they want to get gas, they got to turn left across track.
That's Circle K across the street.
Yes,
correct?
ma'am.
Okay.
They got to turn left across. Whereas when that traffic's coming home from work, they don't have to do that now. They can turn in here. And my client, Mike, he's observed, he spent a lot of time out there seeing what's going on because he's evaluating the site. They're stacked up trying to get gas.
Because let me, okay,
They're
so
on one.
right now you don't have what you're proposing. So when people are traveling that road and trying to get to the Circle K, it stops the halts, the traffic for people to go, to try to get a pass to go over to the Circle K.
I don't know that they have a left turn lane to turn
Right,
left.
that's what
into
I'm
the Circle
saying.
K
So
today.
they don't have a left turning lane and we just got people traveling and I'm stopping because I need to make it to the Circle K. I'm halting traffic behind me to try to get a clearance to go across. Whereas this will give you that clearance.
If they want to go to Circle K, they can get off the travel lane.
And
But
get
they're
into the
likely-
left
Back here, that's Circle K, and they don't have a
Right.
lane to use for that.
Oh, they don't.
Nor right. But
Now, but what the cars are gonna do, instead of coming down here and turning left, they're gonna come in here and turn right,
All right.
because it's convenience.
Because
Which-
you're not stopping the flow of traffic because you
That's
have
right.
that right lane that you can veer into.
And folks they want to get in and out is with the greatest ease that they can. That's why it's called a convenience store. It's a matter of convenience.
and I know from our work with, I know we did one of the big things with convenience shopping, grocery shopping, they want to be on the side going home in the afternoon, because that's when they get
And that's
most
where
of the
this
stuff.
is.
That's where you get most of your stops. That's every retailer we work for, any of the public, any of the grocery stores, Publix, Kroger, whoever, what grocery stores, that's the convenience stop. They want to be on the going away side, going home. So it's a right in and a right out.
Talk about the current configuration of this road in terms of space. Like, is this a 2-lane road currently?
In essence, it's a 3-lane road. It's a 2-lane road with a center turn lane.
Existing?
Yes. So this is existing pavement that's out there today that'll be restriped and repurposed for this turn lane in. This turn lane. Yeah, this is the striping, proposed modification to the striping here. Right now, it's just hatched out because there's no left turn there. So we're going to take up that hatching and have the left turn lane in there.
Okay, well, that's existing, you're just adding.
But the width is existing. The asphalt width is existing. This will all be, doesn't show up there. This will all be new asphalt on the side here for the right turn lane. This will be modifications to the striping as it exists today.
Oh,
Yeah, I brought one that was old.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's good to add.
They added this right turn lane after Skipper company took a look at it and they recommended that.
Okay, so that right there is being turned into a right turn lane for these people that are
Yes,
at,
ma'am. That will be new asphalt that does not exist today.
okay.
It'll be a right turn lane constructed adjacent to the through travel line.
Okay, any other questions, concerns? Okay, well, we're gonna hear from anybody else who wants to speak, so if y'all will just stand by
They will.
in case.
Close.
Yeah, there could be more questions after anyone else speaks, so is there anybody else who wishes to speak? Ms. Green, do you want to speak?
Are they finished?
Well, they're finished as far as we're concerned until we hear from any other speakers who wish to speak. And I'm assuming you didn't just come to sit, so, well, come on up and sit in this chair and talk to us.
Okay. No problem. I need one.
I know about knees.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Now, if you would just state your name and address for our record.
Okay, I'm Madeline Green, President of Oxmoor Valley Neighborhood Association, 108 Munich Circle, Birmingham, Alabama, 35211.
Thank you.
Okay. I wanted to pass this out right quick. This right here is when they've only gone through one committee last year. Now they went to one, did they go to one on the 19th?
They went to ZAC last week, yes
Yeah,
ma'am.
I wasn't able to attend that one. And, but anyway, I'll give you this real quick. Okay. And this one right here. Okay, the packet that I just gave you consists of, the statement was made that we don't have a abundance of gas stations. We do.
I just wondered if we could get copies,
Oh, sure.
so we'll be able to follow along.
I need to get a copy of yours. So do you have another?
Well, here,
copy?
you can look at that one, and I'll look on with Mr. Woods, if he'll share.
I reckon I could share.
But I just thumbed through them, so I've got a good idea what they
I
look
have about
like.
4.
They look like
Okay.
convenience stores.
Okay.
Share.
Basically, we have 5. We have 5 in a 0 to a 2.5 mile radius. And that's just right there in our faces. Okay? The one that you see on the top is the gas station that we can walk through the community center, walk through the park, and get to that one in walking distance. Okay? Those two are the top, are the two ones that you see. And we have a food mart in there. And we have a pizza place in there. We have a package store. Okay? Across the street, a little bit up on Lakeshore, we have this next gas station that's number 2. Okay? Those are the 2 pictures. This is a gas station that has, convenience store, that has the little eatery where you can sit down and, enjoy yourself for a minute. It's not much seating, but they do offer breakfast and lunch. And it's, okay, and that's across the street from there. We can get to that by bike. The other one that we have is basically, let's see, number 3. Number 3 is down by John Carroll. We have 2 service stations over there. As you can see, a 3 and a 4. Okay, and they're right across the street from John Carroll, which is less than, not even a mile from these other ones. Okay, and then you have number 5. It's the very back, and that's the one that's across the street from where they're proposing to build their service station. All right? So we have 5 service stations in walking distance. We're not a desert for the service stations in our area. It's quite adequate, sufficient, it's been working, so we really don't need a service station. Okay, now, in terms of this right here, let me give you that, and that, and that. Okay. Let's see. Okay, on this particular sheet, would you like them?
Yes, ma'am.
I need it back though. Okay. Okay, glad that you have it. Okay, as you can see on this particular one, this is another view of the gas station where they're talking about build is on the side. Okay, this is the gas station. This is the main street for Renown Oxmoor Road. I know you've heard that a lot. And because we don't like traffic goes on the street as a side street from Lakeshore, so we have enough traffic. Right here is one of our neighborhood signs. Okay, this is a service station, the gas station they're talking about. They're wanting to build, this is a traffic light right here. We have a traffic light right here that goes straight, to go up Bluff Park. We have a traffic light, the same traffic light goes to the left to 1 lane, and then we go to the right in a 1 lane. Okay, so it's actually 2 lanes, but it's going that way is 1 lane. Okay, over to the right, they decided to come back and tell us that they were moving the proposed location out a little bit from our sign. Before that, it was very close to our sign. So over to the right, okay, now, this is on the second sheet, that's just another view of that same service station. But I was just trying to show you where our sign is. So it's the same thing, I just went and took a closer view.
So the new gas station will be behind the sun?
Yes, that's what the proposed one will be to the right, okay? Let me go back to that one right quick in terms of what he was saying about the traffic. Okay, in terms of the traffic study, Councilor Abbott, we didn't need it. We didn't need the traffic study. We've been trying to get that area, even though some of the neighbors were talking about the traffic and everything, we've been trying to get the city to do something for over 4 or 5 years, and they're just not gonna do it. So when he decided to get a traffic study, that was after the fact. We finalized this with them. They came to 2 meetings, January and February, and we gave them opportunity in January to do all the. Let me go.
Well, before you go,
Yes.
what did you want the city to do?
We wanted the city to widen the street. See, when you're coming from this way, let's see,
To widen it into a 4-lane?
we need
5 lane?
actually, we need actually more lanes in terms of coming. I can't show you. Well, I can kind of show. On this side of the street, we have when we make that left turn. That's one of our major streets that we make the left turn, and right there we have 1 lane, 2 lane, 1 lane going and 1 lane coming back. Okay, right there is a problem, because when we're coming from the other direction by Regions Bank, which is coming this way, we have to filter into 1 lane, and then it breaks back out to a turn lane to come back to us, and then a straight lane that's gonna go this way. So we have that 1 lane, so we needed them to make that a 2 lane, so we can stay going in 2 lanes. And then when we get down here, people who are going on will have 2 lanes, so a 4 lane, 2 lanes going forward. Because right now, the street is so narrow that you can't do anything with it but go into that 1 lane. Okay, so that's why we've been having problems, and I've talked to Fowler when he first got there, and he said that they didn't see anything wrong right now, but they would do some type of study or something, but we never went back to it. So, but that was before he even came, we started trying to work on that. So, but yeah, right here is just, and this right here, this is very awkward right here, where they're talking about building. On this next sheet, look at this, look at the second sheet. On that sheet, this is the sit-go, again. Our sign is right here, okay, and the traffic goes across. This right here is the service, is the car wash that's next to them. That's where they're planning on building, so many feet from our sign, but they're pushed out a little bit, and that's where they're planning on building. This lane right here, if you can see right here, this is, wait a minute, it's a better picture. Okay, here we go. This is where I was talking about when I was talking about we wanted them to widen it, okay? If you can make this, a 4 lane, it would have been better, because the traffic coming from this way will go, that's headed towards Ross Bridge, will be 2 lanes going down the street, okay? And then 2 lanes coming back this way. Right now, we don't have that. So they're talking about building right here in front of the car wash, okay? On that particular picture. Okay, on the next picture, this is just a car wash. Okay, on this one, I'm just trying to show you that all this area right here is where they want to build, and next to the car wash, we have a 520 apartments that's right there on that same road. So as you can see, this is where it comes. When the people are coming from Ross Bridge or up by Mountain View, we have 3 subdivisions that way. When they come here, they're in the 1 lane coming up here. Okay, when they get there, they've got to still stay over here. Okay, and then when it gets closer to our sign, it splits. It's actually a turn lane that goes right, and this lane continues. Okay, so you can't get by there unless you wait for people to filter into that turn lane. They got to filter the turn lane. Over here, it's just a 1 laner. Okay, what they made provisions for 4 years ago was for the car wash, and it's made it even more of a problem. Okay, in terms of the car wash, see, that's just this right here. This lane right here is the turn lane. This is the turn lane coming from where I was just talking about where the car wash and where they want to build. This lane right here can go anywhere, nowhere, when they're turning left to come to our neighborhood. They have to, people behind them have to sit, because this has now become a turn lane. You see what I mean? So we have traffic right here waiting to make a left, and then once that person makes a left, then they can go on. But this one right here has now turned into a right lane only. So they go that way. This one has to wait until that left turn, and we have a problem with that all the time. Or just go, and then they'll go straight. So it's just one lane that's going straight to hit 2 lanes going to Lakeshore. So that's where we are with that. Now, in terms of the, I wanted to show you. Okay, this is where, I say it again, they're wanting to put the proposed place. As you can see, that's 1 lane. This right here, this is just one big lane. It was crazy, but it's one big lane. But when you get up here, there's the car wash. What they ended up doing, and we kind of protested that many years ago, when they had the car wash there, when they built the car wash, because it's not very old, when they built this car wash, the city required that when they come down here by the car wash, the city required that they have a turn lane. So they have 1 turn lane that's right there to turn. They actually get over. The city made enough room for them to get over out of the direction of this lane going forward. So there's no hesitation or anything on that. And so they have a little tiny lane that turns into the car wash, okay? But the rest is a 1 lane, 2 lanes going towards Ross Bridge, one on one side, one on the other. So it's really a problem right in there. But we never anticipated, in fact, I asked about not buying, but giving that land being given to us by one of the U.S. Steel persons. And so I never heard anything back from him.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
No, because they're not going to give away land, but we just wanted to keep it as green space. So that's in terms of the street that we're talking about. It's not a very large street, and you can just imagine a 2 lane. And so if they were to do what they're saying to do, and I've heard this before, I think from Fowler, because I was talking to him one time when they first came. If in fact there is a turn lane, when you're coming from this way, which is, okay, just to make you understand it really clear. Let's see. What I do up there? I don't want to keep it long, too long. Let me see your, let me see your, not that sheet. Let me see your, the first set of sheets I gave you.
Oh, you gave us?
Okay, on this sheet right here. Again, if you're coming from where I just took you from, the service station, the gas stations right here, and the car wash. If you come in this way, as you can see, is a 1 lane. This lane I was telling you goes that way. If you come in the center lane that they made only for turning, you go to our subdivision. Okay, but when you get down here, there's a problem in terms of coming from that way, because we had talked about making this a 2 lane all the way down, because then we have to fit, go out to 2 lanes, then we have to filter back in, because this lane goes straight, that one goes right. So if they could have made it a 2 lane all the way down, it would have been great. So what they're proposing to do is basically this right here is this right here. So if you take this if you take this lane, and then they're going to have to go over to the shoulder, I guess,
They're going to add some more asphalt to turn right.
to the right, okay?
Because traffic will never stop.
Okay.
That's why when you drive.
No, I got that.
If I'm driving you in front of me and I'm behind you and I want to go to
I got
the
that.
convenience store, the traffic doesn't ever stop.
Right, I got that.
I go off.
Okay, but now the problem is, where's the traffic in terms of turning left into the service station? Where are they going to put it? Where are you going to put it?
It's
The turn lane.
They don't have left turn.
So that will be the new gas station that's coming from where you're talking about.
Mhm.
So this is the new asphalt there. This will be the left turn lane right here.
Okay, but if you have a left turn right here, isn't that going to still present a problem?
The traffic will still flow.
I guess what problem do you envision?
I envision if they're coming right here, okay, from that direction, I keep saying the Ross Bridge direction, because that's why they want,
Yeah, I got you.
they want to build over here. But if you're going, if you come in here, you're gonna make a left turn lane. Okay, if you make that left turn lane, then how are they gonna get into this lane on down to be able to turn?
It's a single lane. It was, you just have to go down further before you can get into that new lane, that left turn lane.
Okay,
So
okay,
it becomes a single lane.
okay, okay.
All right, so let me try to summarize so I can understand. So concern number one is just that you feel like you got too many gas stations already. And do you have a traffic concern at all? Or
Too much traffic.
you think?
Okay, yes, it's not to the point where it's gonna be a lot more traffic, it's just gonna be more congested. So I'll get to the bottom line. What I basically saying, I really didn't know what happened to them after the zone advisory committee last year. So, but here we are again. Okay, we do not need another, convenience store gas station. There may not be more vehicles, but the congestion will remain. Additionally, we have concerns about the health, the safety, the environmental concerns, including not limited to noise, pollution, trash, crime, drug trafficking, and then the drop in property values. We also want to make sure that they meet all the EPA guidelines. So we voted, I don't think Kim told you all, but it should be in your packets maybe. We voted 32 to oppose and 4 to approve. And basically that's it. So I was sent, when Mr. Oliver and Attorney Beavers came to us, they basically came ill-prepared. This is the only thing that they brought to us.
Well, let me,
This is the only thing that they brought to us. So we couldn't make any decisions in January.
well, so I want to, and I guess that's the part that really concerns me, is that, are we talking about the meeting in February 2022?
Yes, we haven't seen them since.
Well, I guess the part that concerns me is that you didn't allow them to come back almost 19 months later.
No, that's not, did Kim tell you?
They said you guys rejected, you pushed back on them coming back, giving you guys an update on the traffic study. That's what Ms. Aggie was saying. Why didn't you?
Why
Why
would you
why
let
would
them
you-
come back and vote again?
Oh, that's not true.
I'm
That's
asking,
not,
well, I'm saying, why did they not, they didn't want it, they didn't request to come to the meeting, or?
we have not talked with them.
No.
After
No,
February.
My question is,
We didn't know they were doing the study.
was there a request to come to the meeting, is my question.
Because
What are you saying?
they
Neighborhood, the
They
neighborhood
wanted to-
meeting.
No.
It says here, after the traffic study was completed, the applicant and staff contacted the neighborhood association.
They did not.
If they would like for the applicant
They
to
did
attend
not.
the meeting with
They
the new
did.
information.
Well, I mean, also, like-
We have the emails, if you'd like for me
Yeah, they
to
did not.
provide them.
Well,
Ms.
what
Green
happened-
responded to their
Well, let-
emails
let-
and to mine.
Let me say something. I did not respond to anything. I'm not here to.
No.
But
I
let-
just
well,
wanted to.
let me speak,
I wanted to
okay,
know if
listen.
that was the last.
Let me speak,
Just give me
Counselor.
just a minute.
Okay, go ahead.
Right, so I just want to confirm that's the last time that they were at the neighborhood meeting.
Was in February. Because when they came in January, they were ill-prepared and they talked with us and told us different things and told us that, we'd be happy for collard greens and black eyed peas. And so after that point, once they made that presentation, we tabled it to the next month, which was February, because we felt like we needed to go ahead and just move this on. So we gave them the opportunity to come back in February. So in February, they came back, they brought a little bit more information, and then they emailed me about the steam table and all that, and a little bit more information in terms of, I have it here, but anyway, a little bit more information. So we ended up voting on what was presented. After that, we did not hear from them, except for I think Mr. Beavers, Attorney Beavers, would email me, no, that was Mr. Oliver, wanted to have another meeting with us to just talk, but we had voted. So we didn't meet, we chose not to meet with them, not the neighborhood, but the officers chose not to meet. because we had already voted and submitted it in. So in terms of what Kim is talking about, Kim reached out to me on an email to let me.
Give me clarity. You said the executive committee
Yeah,
chose not
with
to.
officers.
The officers chose,
Right.
like, there was a request for like a smaller meeting?
No,
or
this is in June. This is
There-
way after February.
I guess what was the request, to come before the neighborhood or to meet with the officers?
No, just meet with the neighborhood or the officers or whoever they could meet with. This was Mr. Oliver, one of their team.
Okay.
And so when I asked him, was he representing Mr. Ahmed, he said no. So we just don't entertain just a meeting like that without you coming to represent your client or represent the person. So, no, we don't have backdoor meetings.
No, it's fine. This is, I was asking, was there a formal request for?
No.
Yeah, you go. I just want, I don't want you to go too far without me understanding. So I
Yeah,
want you-
so no. And
Okay, so do we have any more questions we want to ask Mrs. Green?
Well, I have one more answer.
Oh, okay, well, give us your other answer.
Okay.
What's the question?
What the question is that you all wanted to know, did they formally meet with us, or wanted to meet with us? No. When Kim contacted me and told me that they have a year to come back, and she told me we have the opportunity to either let them come back or not. And so we talked about it, and the officers talked about it, and I emailed her back to let her know that we were going to let everything stand as it is. So I never, Attorney Beavers never reached out to me, during that time to see about coming back. So no, I need to correct that. So no, that's not
I mean,
true.
are you open to having them come to the meeting?
Well, we don't have anything to discuss. We've already voted.
Okay.
We voted.
So no?
I mean, I would have to get with the officer. So I'm going to say no.
Well, I guess so, like,
Well, they
I-
can all come back when we have it at the council meeting.
Yeah.
No, I
They
just,
can all show up then if they want to hear about the changes that the
Yeah.
applicant has made. They can just show up then.
Yeah.
Because clearly they haven't wanted to show up, I mean, they hadn't even wanted them to come back, because they already
No,
voted. They already
no.
voted. You already voted and you
But we
didn't-
voted in February of last year.
Yeah, but you didn't want to see any updates or any of the improvements,
This was-
or, in their opinion, improvements that
But
they were
this was
making.
August, I guess, when we didn't know. We didn't know they had done a traffic study, is what I'm saying, Councilor Abbott. We had no privy to that, because when they left us, they didn't tell us anything. We were waiting to go to this meeting. When we went to this meeting last year, there was no traffic study done. So we were in the process of going through the committees last year. So no, I didn't know anything about a traffic study until I was told that they did do it. Kim told me finally that they did a traffic study. But that was after the fact that she told me that we have the option of either meeting with them, starting off for the new year, for another year, which was recently, or just, we can meet with them or just go to let it stand. So we chose to just let it stand because we didn't have any other information that we needed to know. So
Yeah.
it's not like we're trying to keep them from doing it. So,
Yeah, I mean, I'll move on, but like, I remember this case, and I remember traffic was a major issue that was raised. And so it is concerning that, one, just because we hear from, that's what we do here, we hear from whoever wants to come and talk, whatever
Okay.
opinion they have. And so it's just concerning that, a door was shut and at least not heard out. So we'll talk offline about more, what that's all about.
we didn't
but-
know about the traffic study for a whole year.
No, I'm saying, we'll unpack it offline, but it is concerning that if someone is at least saying that they wanted to come to the neighborhood meeting, weren't allowed to. But,
But the neighborhood, we don't deny anybody, Council.
no, I mean.
We don't deny anybody, but
we'll-
after you vote, I assume that's it. So until somebody tells me otherwise.
No, but I mean, like, literally, we got an item coming up next week, in my district, developer, neighborhood completely disagreed on a project, they didn't want it. Everybody was cordial the entire time, agreed to disagree. Developer went back, worked on some things, made some changes, everybody came back to the table,
Have they voted?
everybody's happy, yeah, right.
Had they voted up before that?
Yeah.
Okay.
They blocked it, we blocked it.
Okay.
That's up. But I'm gonna throw it back to the chairwoman to get us back on
I
task.
want to make sure Mr. Brady is.
Okay, well, we're back on task. Oh, and I think that you did not get to sign our wonderful sign-in sheet. Okay, so what this, and I had a question to ask Ms. Spurl. I don't have any more questions from Ms. Green, but
I'm gonna get up.
yeah, you don't have to move. Ms. Spurl, okay, you said to the north, south, and west of this property is MXD. And then to the east is C1?
Yeah, the Circle K that's across.
Across the street, that's east, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And so there aren't any dwellings to be closer than 50 feet to, so we're okay on that requirement, and not closer than 15 feet to a right-of-way line. I assume from looking at the drawings that we've met
Right, all
all
of the conditions based on the site plan provided are met,
the, okay, well, I just wanted to confirm that.
unless they were to add the car wash. But that would be a zoning board of adjustment case or special exception.
Okay, and what is behind the car wash doctor, the wash doctor? On this, what is, do you know what that
It's like
is?
apartment complex.
Apartment complex. They said 520 units.
Yeah, that's Wildwood Crossings
Okay.
apartment complex.
So, at this point, do any members of the committee have any more questions? Do I hear a motion? Oh, do y'all need to respond to anything, or have we already seen all of your stuff?
Just, one of these, we say that there aren't a lot of these kinds of facilities in the immediate neighborhood. This particular one that was shown is actually the inside of a store that Mr. Michael Mead actually owns and operates in McCalla. That's where that meat three is. It's another one of his, very far removed from this. This is the letter that was emailed to the president of the association by Mr. Ahmed back in April. Just the first part of it, good day, Mrs. Green, this will confirm my offer to meet further with you and representatives of the neighborhood association and to bring to the meeting our traffic engineer and our architect, go over the plans for the development, and in particular to give you the opportunity to dialogue with our traffic engineer as to how the site is to be accessed and the effect of the site development on traffic in the adjacent public streets. As we discussed, we've engaged a traffic engineer to make sure that the site is designed in a manner that is safe and not in any manner disruptive to the traffic flow in the adjacent streets. And it went on, to invite him to, we would come where whoever she wanted to meet with, we would come, and the invitation was, well, it was declined. I think Kim has responses. I'm not trying to, I just want you to know that for our matter of integrity, we did everything we could to try to meet with the neighborhood, and we just couldn't. And because coming out of y'all's meeting is, y'all heard it before, is why we got a traffic engineer, because it says, well, the city's traffic engineer has said it's good, but how do we know it's good? You need counts. And so we said, okay. And we went and got counts, and then we offered to meet. We've done everything we know to do. And I would say this, what,
Please don't interrupt me.
well, I think Kim has responses, but, what would be the basis for turning this down? Surely not traffic. It's surely not that the zoning in the area is not appropriate. It's surely not that it's going to put traffic into a neighborhood, because this is an arterial that runs from Lake Shore, downtown Birmingham, Lake Shore, or Oxmoor, across Lake Shore, all the way down to Ross Bridge. It's on the very edge of this neighborhood, the very edge of the neighborhood. What is the public safety, health, and welfare reason to not allow this man to operate this business on this site? We say there are none. In fact, it's going to be a very positive thing, and we hope and believe that it would be very positive for this neighborhood. We just think it's the right development. I think that's it. If y'all had any other questions about traffic, Scott's here.
No, seems pretty clear.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Yes, sir.
Okay, do any members of the committee have a motion?
I mean, I'm comfortable moving this to, full council with a approval recommendation.
Do you have a
I
second?
second, the motion.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
So we have passed that on to the city council. Do we know what the date will be yet?
So we won't be able to get it submitted today for next week. It'll be October 10th. You guys will have it on the agenda to set the public hearing.
Okay, so
It'll be most likely the second Tuesday in November. Most likely the public hearing.
second Tuesday, but on the 10th, we'll set the date.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct. We'll have the items submitted by 5 PM next Wednesday to set the public hearing on October 10th.
Okay, and the neighborhood will be notified of that
Yes,
date
ma'am.
so that they can come and talk.
We will do our regular notification process required by state law, which is 500 feet. And then we also let Ms. Green know of the meeting date so she can let her neighborhood officers know.
Okay,
We'll make sure to send her an email and a regular mail notice.
okay. So that is our only case today, and we're ready to adjourn. So, do I hear a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.